Now, Dean Parkin's with us. We've dubbed him Suffolk's unofficial poet laureate. He's got a poem today remembering a true Suffolk character called Bibbler, and I gather it would have been Bibbler's 89th birthday this Saturday. Hello, Dean.
Hello, Lesley. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. So tell me all about Bibbler then.
Well, Bibbler was it's a wonderful name, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
For a Suffolk nickname, that.
Yeah.
For a wonderful character, lived in Carlton all his life. He passed away in November, and he was a local farmer, had a little farm shop, which lots of people in this neck of the woods will know about. I mean, my mum says, if you come from Carlton, you'll know who Bibbler is.
And I gather his wife Betty is listening. So Betty, I'm sure that you'll love the poem. Has she heard it before?
She hasn't actually. No. It would have been their 60th wedding anniversary this year too. I mean, the thing about Bibbler and Betty is they had 3 children: Mark, Susan, and Gary. And I'm one of 3 myself, and we're all the same age, so we all went to school together, you know. And so it's very much at the heart of the village. This Bibbler's family was, and the funeral was a really sort of moving event, you know. And it sort of, I wanted to write about it quite quickly because it's like a little story in some ways.
Yeah, and so it's one of these where everyone knew, and so you had all generations at the funeral, did you?
Well, that's right, and of course everyone had their masks on, so no one could recognise each other, could they? So it's one of those sort of very much of its time sort of funeral, but you know, everybody was there. It was packed out Gislam Church, you know. So really a moving event. Brilliant,
go for it.
Okay, right. So Bibbler's funeral. This is called. My mother tells me she'd been thinking only that morning how good she looked for her age. How could she be 86? She hadn't wanted to go to the funeral, but was glad she did. She's got used to not going out, but this was for Bibbler, and she'd known him all her life. Older, he was 89. He had a rough childhood, but done all right. Worked hard, got his farm, and married Betty. That's 60 years next August. Father of 3, and how many grandchildren and great-grandchildren did they say? Poor old Bibbler. Mary said she's getting there early to get a seat and was worried there'd be nowhere for all the cars. That's only a little church and on that bad corner, but Mr. Winters had given over a field and their farmyard where we parked. That was still a long walk. Never seemed this far, my mum said, taking my arm. The road ahead slippery and the muddy verges too steep. A bad time of year to go, of course, but good to get him buried this side of Christmas before they start another one of their lockdowns. By the gates, it was hard to tell who was who with their masks on. Only Bibbler was smiling now in his large framed portrait by the church. Lovely photo that was. Later, she'll ask me, who else was there? I never saw Mark. Which one was Susan? Did you see Gary? Yes, he was the one who stepped up and gave the coffin a pat on the shoulder as it passed. But it was definitely Ronnie and John lurking near the church door, waiting so they could stand like naughty boys at the back. And my mother, thinking they were dawdling and in the way, pushed through, unaware of any cue or how the church was packed, and missed a step, and then the next, almost falling. Oh, I can't see where I am. I can't see nothing. And from the shadows, a ghost of white stepped forward. The vicar, who gave her a fright, and she was a she, grabbed my mum by the arm and said, "Bless you, my dear," and nodded understandingly at me before she led us down the aisle to the reserved seats at the front for the elderly. Ooh, fancy the parson thinking we were old, my mother sniffs, but at least we got a pew to ourselves. She flicks through the order of service, and when I start to cough, she digs in her handbag, offers me a glacier mint. I remind her again to pull her mask up over her nose when we're asked to stand to sing "We Plough the Fields and Scatter."
I love that. I can just see it. It's just so amazing. It's just, and I can feel it as well. Just everybody knowing each other. That's what's so lovely.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was just before Christmas there, and luckily it wasn't. It was really rainy and stuff before Christmas. It wasn't a rainy day, so it sort of held off. But it was and that thing of it was such a little sort of village church, and everyone parking on the surrounding fields. It was quite quite a thing, quite a sort of celebration of his life.
Yeah, brilliant. You've painted it beautifully. Dean, thank you as always. Unofficial poet laureate, lovely poetry. So have a look at his website if you want to hear more, deanparkin.co.uk.